We are live.
I don't see it.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you are watching us live broadcast on Facebook. This is the Sunshine Silas Show. It's been a beautiful, rainy, wet Saturday evening right here in Nigeria, and it's going to be an awesome experience tonight on the Sunshine Silas Show as I have a very beautiful, intelligent, wonderful lady who is doing a phenomenal job all the way in Washington, D.C., touching lives and impacting the local community and, of course, our international audience. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for the one and only Miss Jennifer Bryant. Hello, Jennifer. How are you today?
I am great. That was such an awesome introduction. I'm looking for where are the people? But you know what? You can have your own party solo style. So I love it. We could do it together.
Wow, Jennifer, you look so amazing this Saturday afternoon. So how is Washington, D.C.?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I have, I tell you, every day when I wake up, I tell people you got to do this mental muscle exercise, which involves retraining your mind to wake up and say, thank you. I've woken up another day. What's going right in my life right now? Going down that list, and whatever issue that's going on is not that bad. It'll work itself out. So I'm glad.
Wow, what a dose of sunshine. Whatever issue is going on, it's not that bad. It's going to work itself out from the amazing Jennifer Bryant. I am one of your amazing fans out here. I follow you on Facebook, on social media. I see the incredible job that you are doing, touching lives. And I want to say that we are so proud of you. Thank you so much, Jennifer. It's such an honor to have you on the Sunshine Silas Show today.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I was trying to share your post. I'm not sure if I shared it correctly because they only gave me an option to share. I know you said to share as a watch party, so we will see what happens. I shared it on my page and we will go from there and see what happens.
All right, that's beautiful. So let's move on very fast on the Sunshine Silas Show tonight. You're a very busy person. It's such an honor to have you and would like to kick it rolling as soon as possible. I'll start by saying that you are a lady of many paths. You are a best-selling author. You are an award-winning career-certified coach. You're a motivational speaker and also the founder of Reaching Within an Empowerment Journey. A lot of accolades, a lot of credentials that defines who you are. But let's hear it from you. Who is Jennifer Bryant beyond all of the titles and all of the credentials and certifications that you have so far?
Yeah, I always start off by saying, hey, I've earned those things. And me as a person, I am Jennifer Bryant, who is a mom to two lovely young adults, young ladies. And every day they are amazing me. They are blazing a trail. And so they are my why. I do everything what I do. And people ask me, do I sleep? And I say, yeah, I sleep because sleep is important. I got to sleep, right? Look, sleep helps with the aging process. So I can't. That's my secret ingredient. But among those, I am a legacy builder. I am a generational changer, and I'm about igniting people's fire. And part of igniting their fire is helping them to reach within because they have all the ingredients already. So you've already introduced me in terms of what, I've achieved, but that's me. And I try to show up as my authentic self each and every day. because here's the thing that keeps me humbled. My mom raised my brother and myself with a fifth grade education, living in a 2-bedroom apartment. And I grew up sleeping on a rollaway cart most of my life. And so without a car, I didn't get a car until I was in my 20s. So
Wow.
for me, that's a part of keeping me humble. We all put our pants on, our slacks on the same way, regardless of title.
We all put our pants on the same way, regardless of title.
That's
That's a
right.
very deep one, and I absolutely agree with you. And the truth is, when I was looking at your resume, super impressive. I was about asking you because I find it the right word to use. I find it quite challenging. You are a wife. You are an amazing mother to 2 beautiful daughters. You are an entrepreneur. How do you manage all of those roles together and still stay as effective as you are? You are still sharp, you're still making impact, and none of those roles have been able to suffer. You carry everything together. How do you do it? And you still have this amazing smile with you everywhere you go. How do you make this happen?
So, look, you make me blush, I tell you. So, here's the thing, I get asked that question often, and this is how the order of things, this is the order of things. You got God first,
Mm.
you got family next, and then you have everything else.
Mm.
So your family is going to be there in terms of your family, your core family, right? They're going to be there. And these are the people you wake up to, and these are the people you go to sleep, at night in your family. And if you are serious about being a generational changer and a legacy builder, you got to invest in your family as well. So my young adults, I check in with them. They're 15 and they're 18. So I check in with them all the time. And some of the times they say, "Mom, you're being a helicopter, Mom. Let up a little bit. You hovering a little bit." But I'm looking at those grades. I'm checking in. I'm making sure that they are doing what they need to do. So in my heart of heart, I know that things are happening down the right path. Once I know that they're good to go, I am then focused on what's next in terms of my career, setting a schedule, looking at your daily tasks for the day. And what I also didn't mention, and it's almost as if I live 2 different lives, in which I kind of do, right? Is that during the day, I work for one of the fourth largest bank
Wow. It's
in the
impressive.
US. I don't know what happened. Can you still see me?
Yes, I can see you and I can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, something's happening with my computer and I don't know what is going on. But anyway, I will continue. So what I also, like I said, worked for the fourth largest bank in the United States as a director. And yeah, so I also have that on my plate. And so it's been amazing. And I try to work my reaching within empowerment journey, career coaching business early in the morning. You've gotten messages from me probably 6 a.m. my time. And then I work it in the evening and whenever I have a break, and then as well as on weekends. So I guess the important key things that I want to say, time management is important, organization is key, and making sure that you have your priorities together, God, family, and everything else.
It takes a really phenomenal lady to do the things that you do, the way that you do it. We are really proud of you, and we are here to learn from you and to see how best we can also walk in these footsteps to duplicate the kind of results that you have put out there. I'm talking about results. You're an entrepreneur, you're a generational builder, you also work in the banking sector, but you mentioned something. You are also the CEO of reaching within an empowerment journey. And that's what I want us to talk about a bit this evening. So, what inspired you to embark on this journey? What's the vision behind the reaching within an empowerment journey? How did you come about this vision?
So what came about this vision is that I have to share this with you, my story a little bit, to give you a little history, because sometimes when people enter your lives at this point, right, many who've entered my life at this point, they think that I started here and I didn't start here. You know, we all have a journey, right?
Of
And
course.
so I explained how my mom raised my brother and myself on a fifth grade education, but it came to that because I lost my dad when I was 5. He died at a horrible construction accident, and so my mom, he was the, you know, patriarch. He was the man, the head of the household. She did not have a job outside of the household, so she had a high social intelligence and emotional intelligence, where she was able to, although she may have only had a fifth grade education, she was able to raise my brother and myself on her own. So, speeding up, when I was in my senior year of high school, I noticed a change in her, and she began to suffer from a severe case of mental illness. And so one night, she, 3 a.m. in the morning, she threw bullets against my locked door and threatened to kill me. And so, as a result of that, I had to quickly leave home. And then it was one episode after another episode. So I lived in survival mode. And and then I started losing family members. So I lost her 10 years ago. And then a couple of years after that, I lost one of my best friends. And then after that, I left my own, you know, I lost my only living grandmother, who poured a lot of wisdom into me, followed by, oh, I forgot to mention that I had lost my 3-year-old bonus daughter at a time in a car accident. And so my last death was my brother, and he was my only sibling, and he died suddenly as well, at the age of 49. And the last 30 days that I spent with him was the most impactful ever, because for one, we didn't know definitely that he was going to pass away. We were preparing for him to live. And so, but what was important during that time, I explained to you that 10-year span, that decade, I had to continue, you know, to say, and I remember one of my supervisors at the time when I was working in the federal government say to me, Jim, reach within, reach within. And I used to be like, what is she talking about? And then I started getting it. And in spite of what I was going through internally, there was some inner strength that was there. And my inner strength, and reaching within can look different for anybody, is whatever your faith is and whatever your foundational base is. Mine was, you may have heard this, you know, prayers of my mother, prayers of my grandmother,
Yeah.
prayers of my aunties, who, you know, and I continue to say, you know, it's a scripture that I use, not to make this, you know, too biblical, but, you know, I always kept saying, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. So as things were coming at me, I was like, I can't give up. I can't
Mhm.
give up. I got children. I got, you know, at that time I was leading a organization of 70 plus people, overseeing a $1 billion budget. I could not crack and fall. So I did everything. You can kind of see my logo behind me. I did everything within my power to reach within, to go to a place that was the core of my heart, and said, where can I find those strengths to continue along that road which is called the empowerment journey. So each time I was able to reach within, I felt extra power as I was helping people, as I was healing along the way. So it's
Such,
about your personal healing story.
wow, such an inspiring story. And I am Nigeria's number one bounce back coach, and I feel very excited each time I talk to people and I hear stories about people bouncing back from adversity, and just listening to you going through loss after loss after loss. And in spite of all the challenges, in spite of all the losses you went through, you were still able to bounce back and become this phenomenal lady that you are doing. Incredible. It is just simply amazing, your ability to just reach within you and get that empowerment from the inside. And that reminds me of something on your bio that I came across. As a certified career coach, you are also a resiliency life coach. Just listening to you, I can see resiliency written all over you. I mean, you are so resolute and firm-minded when you're going through whatever you want to do. So tell us, what exactly do you mean when you say I'm a resiliency life coach?
What I mean, and it's sort of along the lines of what you just said, is it's about the bounce back, right? It's about what tools do you put in place to regain your strength to move forward. A lot of the my clients that I work with who are focused on their careers, it may not necessarily be about the professional development. I mean, that part comes along while I'm coaching them. Mainly what comes out, the common theme is about their personal development, learning who they are, having self-awareness, and working through whatever pains that they have to build their confidence and their self-esteem.
So tell us, how critical is resiliency in life in achieving success? I mean, for most people who are getting to hear the word a resiliency life coach, let us understand, is it something that is very imperative, indispensable in achieving success, or is it something I can do without?
Well, here's the thing, and that was a loaded question, because let me tell you, success is relative. It's relative to who you are. Success does not mean that, oh my God, I got the latest Mercedes, I got the latest red bottoms, I got my Chanel bag. Man, that's stuff that's going to fade away, break down, whatever. What I'm talking about, what I give people is things that will sustain them. I equip them with tools that will sustain them in terms of shifting their mindset and their approach and outlook to things, and helping them to find opportunities, because we live in a life of change. Everything is changing. It's like a perpetual change all day long, even while you're walking along your empowerment journey. So again, I go back to what I said when we kicked off the interview. It's about that mental muscle and what you have to do every day. Am I this way all throughout the day? Absolutely not. When issues hit me, I'm like, okay, why did that just happen? Let me do some introspection. How could I have responded better to that situation? So the great thing about my relationship with my clients is that I'm authentic and I'm transparent. I don't have it all together. I don't.
Simply beautiful. You are authentic and you just put it out there the way it is. And it's so beautiful seeing how you're able to impact lives, talking about the reaching within an empowerment journey. And when I was going through the programs of the reaching within an empowerment journey, I read about a lot of testimonials about one of the key programs that your organization offers is the 8-week vision and career coaching program. Now, there have been a lot of testimonials about how impactful this program has been. So Would you mind telling us exactly what's the 8-week vision and career coaching program about, and how important is it in determining the success for an organization or an individual?
So the main thing that it's about, you may have, since you follow me in my news feeds, you hear me say a lot or write a lot about igniting your fire. And
Absolutely.
igniting your fire, because once you reach within and you start pulling it out, it's time to ignite that fire, right? And so it's about propelling your career. So when I talk about vision, I break it down where it's an acronym. So you have the V. The V is for visualizing. You got to visualize what your next steps are. You got to see where you're trying to go. And I'll give you an example. When I first entered into my federal career, I saw someone who was sitting in a position where I wanted to be. And so I didn't stop there. I saw myself visually, like in my head, sitting at that desk one day, having employees, all of that, right? And so the I is for initiating, initiating your goals, setting them out, writing them out. You can start off with an annual goal. Sometimes an annual goal is too large for some people because they're like, I don't even know what I'm doing the next minute. So it's chunking your annual goal into quarterly goals, and then you could break it down to monthly goals, to weekly goals. And then you set milestones because you want to feel some happiness of achievement as you go along. So I help clients to do that. The S is for strategizing. As a part of strategizing, you're looking at you're doing a SWOT analysis, and you may be familiar with this term as you've gone through leadership academies, etc. It's about your conducting a SWOT analysis, your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and threats, and you look at, are there anything within those quadrants that would impact you from moving forward in your career or professional development? The other I is for integrating all those pieces. So once you have them all laid out, do they align? Do they make sense? Do you need to go back and revisit your goals? The O is for opportunities. And so part of your opportunities is not just networking, right? I'll talk about that a lot. Like, oh yeah, it's great you're going out there taking pictures and all that good stuff. But are you going out there cultivating, fostering, and nurturing relationships? So I challenge people to write out who is in your circle. Who do you want to network with? Who are your stakeholders, right? And then taking those next steps to get connected. So I walked them through what that looks like. And even from the visualization point of view of that next step of where you want to go, if there's someone in business that's where you want to be, connect with them, ask to pull up for a cup of coffee, ask to jump on a Zoom call, whatever. Don't let geographical distances inhibit you from propelling. And then the N is about next steps. That's when you are going out there and you're going to go get it. And I want to see some results. So during that 8-week period, I'm working with you. Not only am I just working with you, I'm looking around for my book. I'm teaching you out of my book, Overcoming Personal Challenges to Achieve Professional Success. And this has all the ingredients, well, a lot of the ingredients of what I put in place to stay in where I need to stay in terms of moving from a clerk typist, cleaning bathrooms at night, to an executive. So I have no secrets about what I did to do that. So that's what my vision program is about. It's about setting you on fire, getting you going.
I am just blown away with your ability to explain what the vision concept is all about. Believe me, I've never seen someone articulate it so clearly and everything just falls into place. The whole idea of the vision career coaching program, I think I understand it better now. You visualize, you initiate, you strategize, you integrate, you look out for the opportunities, and then you take the next steps.
You
Absolutely brilliant.
You got it. See, it was relatively easy.
Yes, it is. I mean, I couldn't miss it. And believe me, I wouldn't forget that because that's something I'm going to put into practice. I'm going to write it out on my dashboard and keep it by my bedside. It's something you want to wake up to every day. You see the steps, you try to follow it. And I want to reach out to everyone who is watching this broadcast right now. You need to be a part of this vision coaching program. So please, we'll talk about how you can reach out to Jennifer Bryant in the course of the program and be a part of this amazing work that she's doing. And moving forward, one of the beautiful things I love about the Reaching Within and Empowerment Journey and what you do is that you are not just a coach, you are listening to you and having read through your biography. You are someone who walks the walk and also talk the talk. It's one thing for some people to say something they've read off pages of a book. It's another thing for someone to actually live out the experiences and the lessons they're actually trying to impact. So I want to ask you, what has been some of the greatest challenges that you faced on your journey to becoming the success that you are today? And how did you overcome those challenges so that members of our audience might be able to get an inspiration from your journey to also reach within themselves and empower themselves?
So I kind of gave you, I shared a little insight with you about the incredible losses I experienced over a decade. Not only just that, I went through a divorce after an 18-year marriage. So that was a part of that piece too. And so I explained to, when I'm out there speaking and when I'm coaching clients that was not easy because there were times when I didn't want to get up out my bed and I didn't, right? And then I went through my own depression and I became a functional depressed person where I would cry all the way to work, cry all the way home, function during the day because I had a job to do, but every time I took a break, I would sink back into my depression. And so at a certain point in where I may have had my aha moment, I knew that, okay, something is off here. I need to go talk to someone. So a lot of times I demystify the myth that going to a therapist is a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. And, as one of my friends said to me, just like you take medicine when you have a cold, it's okay to take medicine if you need to get your mind back right. So that's what I had to do. I had to go through a 2-year period where I had to get back to me. And in fact, I got back to me and I became a better version of me, like a Jennifer 0.2. And so my girls were able to see that as well. So what I said to myself, like I shared, like after my brother's death, like this is not meant, my life experiences and the wisdom that I carry is not meant to just hold within myself. It's for me to share with others. And so I also had experienced sexual assaults as well as a survivor and thriver of 2 domestic violence relationships. Mm-hmm. So I talk about that as well in that book. And that's why you will also see that I'm out here in the community doing different things, talking about that very subject. And no matter what, this overcoming personal challenges, again, can look different for different people. And those were my personal challenges as I was going along the way. I had professional challenges as well. I've had a supervisor who actually grabbed me, grabbed my arm, and I had to respond. I had situations because I was the first African American director in a lot of meetings. And I had got promoted, to that level in my 20s. I wasn't respected by my counterparts, in which it may have been their second or third career. I had someone to point their finger in my face. I've had people to walk out of meetings on me, and I still try to remain poised. Now, a couple of times I lost my cool, but those were lessons learned, right?
Yeah.
And so it's very important that you always have a mentor in your circle. And so not only a coach, but you got to have a mentor as well. And you're going to have multiple mentors. It could be a formal relationship, or it can be an informal relationship, because sometimes you're not going to get it right. And so rather than respond from emotional place, you got to respond from what a logical, reasonable have a reasonable stance when you respond. And so that's what I do. I go out there and I inspire people to show up as their authentic self. It's a lot of people out here on the circuit, career coaches, life coaches. Some people wake up one day and say, I'm a life coach, and come on there, and didn't even go through the school, and that you got other people's lives in your hand. And so you have to always do the right thing, even when people are not looking. Don't duplicate, don't replicate somebody else, be you.
Don't duplicate, don't replicate someone else, be you. You also said we all need to have a mentor at one point in our lives who will hold our hands and walk us through the way. Quite an inspiring word out there for everyone who is envisaging and desiring to become successful in whatever they do. Moving forward, you are also an author, and I'd like to talk about some of the amazing books that you have out there. And I know that yes, just a couple of days ago, you also launched one of your products on the Kindle, right? Because I have been following you
this week.
This week, that's correct. That's correct. So please, can you tell us more about your wonderful publications out there, and of course, the latest one that you just launched this week, and how can we grab our hands on them?
So, what's interesting is that I have my book, my inaugural piece, which is Overcoming Personal Challenges to Achieve Professional Success. I start off with my story. I start off with a prayer, then I start off with my story so people will know who I am and to connect with me. And then I go through what mental shifts and transformations I needed to go through. And if each day for 30 days, I provide you a word of inspiration, a quote, either it's a quote from me or it's a quote from someone else I admired or looked up to. And then I give you a call to action, and I ask you a coaching question each day to make you reach within to write out notes. And so it's an interactive journal while it's teaching you at the same time. The other book that I have is in which I'm a co-author. Okay. And I should have it in front of me. It's actually in my garage. I have some in the garage. It's excuse me. It's a 365-day journal for women, and there are over 300 women each day. They're given a topic to write on, and I chose one of my younger daughter's birthdays, and that is, I talked about overcoming disappointments in there. So I have a page to talk about that. And then that is bestseller as well. And then most recently this week, what you were talking about, Sunshine, was the Women of Virtue Walking in Excellence. And Dr. Tashika Green, she's the visionary of that book. And she was doing that in memory of her mom, and she's definitely a legacy builder. In fact, I just had her on my Empowerment Journey podcast to interview her and talk about it. But at any rate, I have a chapter in that book, and it's titled Waiting for the Other Shoe to Drop, but God Built My Strength. Because I told you I lived in survival mode. So I was like, what's coming next? What's coming next? I talk about everything. Like I shared my depression, the death. I also talk about even mine and my own children near-death experience in a car accident. So it's just phenomenal now. I just can't believe it. And I can't do it without the support and love of people who believe in my vision. And the book contains, I think, 20 women who provide inspiring stories. So my walk in life is to continue to inspire others. And they can find the books on Amazon. They also can find it on my website, which is reachingwithinempowerment.com.
Quite beautiful. Just listening to you share the stories. I mean, I can see a picture of a book that is not conventional. It walks you on a daily basis and gives you a call to action, a coaching call, like you said, on your day-to-day activities and how best you can evolve to become the success that you want to be. You mentioned something that was of interest to me. You said in your books, you also share some of your quotes and quotes of other people that have stood out to you across, in your journey rather on success. So I want to ask you, what's one of the greatest advice you ever received about success in life? And why did that particular advice stand out for you?
I think I touched on that earlier. And it's going to probably be a combo answer. So you might get a 2-for-1. So what's important, what my mentors told me is don't forget about your 3 legs on the stool. Don't forget about those. So you got God or church or whatever your faith is, right? You got your family, and then you got your means, right? Which is your business, your job, or whatever. Should either of those break, your stool is going to break. So it's important that you keep that stool well leveled. So if you got to recalibrate some things, if you got to go and isolate yourself to regain your power, to get that three-legged stool back together, then that's what you do. The other piece of that answer, and I touched on that, is showing up as your authentic self. You hear a lot of people talking about that. And what I mean is being real, being true to yourself. Get rid of the imposter syndrome where you feel like you gotta people please everybody. Set your boundaries. I often wonder, and there were times when I was like, I should be an executive. Why am I not an executive, right? But I was too busy focused on what others looked like as an executive. And I tried to mirror that, right? Instead of just saying, how can I take who I am and maximize my potential to become an executive? Once my mentor told me that, I also had an executive coach who said, Jennifer, you got the leadership part down pat. The biggest thing you need to work on is you. So I took an entire year going through the American University Executive Leadership Program, which, yes, it taught us a lot of things, technically and all that good stuff. You talk about John Maxwell and some others. They taught us all of that, right? Harvard stuff, all of that good stuff. But the main thing they spent the 9 months to a year working with us on was ourselves, getting true to who we are. So I may show up as an executive in a room who may not have that suit on. I'm properly dressed. I might not have the small pearls on. I mean, look at me now. This is, I believe in wearing bold, audacious jewelry.
You still look beautiful.
Thank you. So my point is that, be who you are. Be who you are. And once I learned that, oh my God, I've been blessed with so many opportunities. Even when I graduated from the executive program from achieving my leadership certificate from American University, I was voted to give the graduation speech for the class. And I'm thinking, me. And so what they shared with me was I showed up as my authentic self. I cried days because I was going through my divorce during that time too. But I still pushed on. I took what it seems like every mode of transportation to get to school. A car, a train, a shuttle, but I still pressed on. I still pressed on to show up to my classes. So that is, the advice that my mentors gave me, and I still have mentors. I put it into action, and I also worked on my emotions as well, which is hard, but I worked on my emotions as well. Yep.
Simply amazing. I've learned a lot. This few minutes with you. Always show up with your authentic self. Do not try to be like the rest of the people. Be unique in your own way and let people know you for who you are. Believe me, Jennifer, even if we had the whole day, we'll keep this conversation going and going and going. You are just an encyclopedia of information when it comes to personal development, when it comes to coaching, and we are having a ball right now. But I know that, of course, we can't have the whole day. But just before we let you go on the Sunshine Silas show today, we're still talking about the reaching within and empowerment journey. You have a whole lot of things that you're doing in the course of a conversation. You talked about your podcast, which you do have. We talked about the vision. We talked about your coaching program. Please, could you share with us the details of all other things that the Reaching Within Empowerment Journey offers? I've been following you on Facebook. I know you have speaking engagements. Sometimes you're a keynote speaker and all of that. I mean, there are lots of ways that we can benefit from your expertise, or we can leverage and partner with what you do. So just give us a more detailed information on the respective programs that the Reaching Within Empowerment Journey offers.
Yeah, so I offer individual coaching. I offer workshops. In fact, I am an instructor with a local community college. I'm also helping them with workshops as well to help students in their professional development and career development. I also offer, I'm out there on the speaking circuit. If you want me to come speak, I can do that. I will tell you, after my keynote speaking engagement with the nonprofit organization, they wanted me to come to Africa for 2 weeks. And I was like, I can't do it. It was a wonderful, I couldn't
Please.
do it.
We'd love to see you in Africa.
I had to respectfully decline. I was like, oh no. The timing was off, but I'm here to, TV appearances, invitations, welcome to come to speak to help the audience ignite their fire. I have a couple of programs that are coming out that will focus on igniting your fire to propel your career. I'm excited about that. I've been working on that behind the scenes. So I can't wait. Until I launch it out there. And so I'm coming from, if you haven't noticed, I come from the standpoint, you could give me theories and all of that. We learn theories and all of that, but I'm about practical application, real life stuff. And so my program will be filled with, how to navigate through your career, giving you real life tips and wisdom. So I'm excited about it.
I can't wait for you to unveil some of these programs you already have. And please, when next it's possible, convenient for you to come down to Africa, believe me, would love to see you in Africa. I'm going to see you when next you have an opportunity to be here. I look forward to it. It would be an amazing opportunity to host you. And I believe that our audience from this continent would be more than glad to be a part of whatever it is that you have to do here in Africa. And always remember, you have a family here. Whenever you need, we'll be here for you.
Thank you.
I want to thank you so much. It's been thrilling. It's been exciting. It's been exhilarating having this amazing conversation with you. And I just want you to leave us with one word before we pull the curtains on the Sunshine Silas show tonight. You've told us a lot about who is Jennifer Bryant and all that you are doing. But the last question we have for you tonight on the show is, what is the legacy that you want to leave behind as Jennifer Bryant? What do you want the world to remember you for?
Sure. What I want the world to remember me for is that you have someone who's here who believes in you. I believe in you. I believe that you are a change agent, a legacy builder, and I know that you can make a difference. It is important that you reach within yourself, hold on to your faith, pull out that strength, and walk along your empowerment journey. Ignite your fire.
Ignite your fire, be a change maker, be a legacy builder. We want to be remembered as the person who was here for us. And believe me, that's who we see when we look at you. You're doing that already. And we have absolutely no doubt that that's the legacy that the world is going to remember you for. And just before you go out on the Sunshine Silas show, do you have a word of recommendation for us tonight?
Do I have a what? I'm sorry.
A word of recommendation on the Sunshine Silas show. What's your experience been like being on the show with us tonight?
Oh my God, it has been incredible. It has been amazing. I am so glad that you gave me the invitation. I did not take that lightly. It's been honored. I appreciate what you're doing. You are not allowing geographical distance to hinder you, to be in the way. And you, my friend, are igniting your fire.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. You are simply amazing. You are such a fantastic guest. And for us on the Sunshine Silas show, it's been such a great honor and a privilege to have you on the show with us tonight, sharing your inspiration and definitely igniting the fire in all of us. And I'm confident that for all our audience all across the world who are connected to us and those who will be watching the rebroadcast, they are living with the fire that Jennifer Bryant has ignited in our hearts for greatness and for success. So on this note, ladies and gentlemen, from wherever you are watching us, this is the Sunshine Silas show. It's been an amazing experience having Jennifer Bryant on the show tonight. I'm sure you enjoyed it. It is on this note that we pull the curtains, and I leave you with the words from Jennifer Bryant herself. Always show up with your authentic self, ignite the fire within you, reach inward, be empowered, and become the success that you envisage. Until we come your way again next time, this is your baby boy, Sunshine Silas, Nigeria's #1 bounce back coach, on behalf of our team, saying, we love you, we celebrate you, we look forward to coming your way again. Thank you, Jennifer Bryant. To everyone out there, have an amazing day. Bye-bye.
Bye. I'm throwing fire.
Woo! Got that.